Senator Alan Cayetano.
Yes, Mr. President, before our good minority leader, just for the record, this is the Enhanced National Nutrition Program, the Masustansyang Pagkain para sa Batang Pilipino Act, which I actually principally sponsored on my first term. We're amending this law. So ito po ang Enhanced National Nutrition Program. And yes, we would gladly answer any questions from our minority leader.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Majority Leader. To my dear friend and author, sponsor of this law. For the record, we've spent actually the last 30 minutes in my office, and I'd like to thank Senator Bam, of course, ED Carol, who everyone knows from EDCOM. Representatives, hindi ko na kayo babatiin isa-isa. DSWD, DOH, and DepEd, because we tried to sort out some, and DILG, some issues. But before I go to that, first question, Mr. President, is that, am I correct that this isn't only an enhancing masustansyang pagkain para sa Batang Pinoy Act? It actually transformed the program into a comprehensive nutrition act.
Yes, Mr. President. In fact, the first bill merely focused on the school-based feeding program, and the amendments to this bill tries to put together all of the programs for nutrition in our government, Mr. President.
Yes, and that's one reason I'd really like to support this bill and give some inputs, because I really like it when the bills evolve into transformative measures rather than just reactionary or, of course, all of our bills try to solve a problem. But I think this, the way you wrote this bill, it really goes into yung sinabi sa Constitution na ang kabataan natin, of course, si Dr. Jose Rizal ang nagsabing siya ang ating future or ang kabataan pag-asa ng bayan. But if you look at the Philippine Constitution, it's very clear there that when you talk about the future, you talk about our children, and it's very clear that health is mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. Although in the bill we'll be dealing more with physical, I think we will see later that stunting actually will affect every single thing, your emotional, your physical, your health, your mental, and even your spiritual well-being. No?
Yes, Mr. President.
So with your permission, may I start with that, with stunting?
Yes.
No? So I'd like to take note that Senator Bam spent that time with us, and I don't think he's feeling that great today. And I know the feeling because I've been having more of those days as you get older. So I just like to recognize that you're here, you're working. Siguro na re-realize mo na mas mabigat ang nararamdaman ng malnourished na bata o may sakit na batang may sakit sa ating bansa than what you're feeling now. And may I ask if we can have a common definition of terms and a common monitoring or measurement system throughout the agencies, so that every time we talk about nutrition and problems related to health and nutrition, apples to apples yung comparison natin.
Yes, Mr. President. In fact, thank you for pointing that out, that we may need to begin with maybe a definition of terms so that all our definitions are on the same measure and we all agree. The peculiar thing about this measure, Mr. President, is that when you talk about nutrition, hindi lang po siya isang ahensya. Actually, it's DOH, DILG, the LGUs, DepEd, and then you have attached agencies like the NNC that all need to work together, and DSWD, of course, that all need to work together to do it right, no? Yeah. It's not just about money. It's not just about funding it, Mr. President. Dapat may pondo, pero dapat tama rin yung programa. And that begins with a common language, common definitions. We agree on monitoring para pare-parehas po yung ating accomplishment or lack of accomplishment. Dapat po magkakatono po yan. So we agree, Mr. President, if it's not yet there in the bill, we will of course welcome amendments later on to have us on the same page, and as well as common terms and goals for monitoring. Of course, Mr. President, we can add further definitions. There were definitions in the original bill, and of course, we refer to that bill, but it would be good maybe to put it again as another part of this measure, Mr. President.
Yes. I mean, we did the meeting a while ago privately, but I think the productivity came because it's really more like a BICAM meeting minus the House of Representatives, di ba? I mean, unlike sa committee hearings, sometimes the guests hear more of what the senators say rather than them speaking. So our hearings are more of talkings eh. Kasi ang ibig sabihin ng hearing tayo makikinig, but I guess the nature of our job and the nature of our politics, we do more of the talking. Kapag dito naman, of course, we have our resource persons, but in a free-flowing discussion, marami talagang lumalabas na problema, and I'm happy that the secretaries sent very responsible people, so they gave us not only the right answers, but they were honest where the problems come in. No?
Yes.
So we started our discussion, Mr. President. IM, tatlong I, isang M. M, monitoring. Yung tatlong I, implementation, RE, funding. Implementation, RE, accountability, or sino ba yan? DILG ba yan? LGU ba yan? DSWD. And then implementation as to goals and objectives. And then yun nga yung monitoring. So actually, Mr. President, we started with monitoring because I noticed, and I think Senator Bam also noticed, that ang layo ng statistics ng FNRI, ng DOST, who is tasked with the Nutrition Council to come out with annual surveys. So ito yung pinag-usapan natin last year that I took up a lot of your time, Mr. President, nung ikaw ang chairman nung finance. And you were very supportive. Unfortunately, the secretaries were not that supportive. So medyo kulang pa rin yung pondong nilagay nila. But naglalaro sa 25% or 1/4, 1 out of 4 Filipinos. I was asking Senator Bam kung may information siya dito. Pero pareho kami ng reading eh. Kasi both the DOH and the DOST statistics mentioned prevalence or prevalence, di ba? Not potential or and we were saying, if you look at the regional in Metro Manila, it's about mid-20s. And if you look at Taguig, it was like same, mga, 2023, 19.9%. But when we looked at the actual numbers, and this was brought by house-to-house surveys, in 2015, it was 11,000 something stunted. And to last year, it was less than 400. So it was less than 1%. Mm-hmm. So I was telling Senator Bam, ang layo naman siguro ng 1 out of 5, 20%, doon sa 1 out of 200. No? So we were discussing, Mr. President, if DOST and DOH, LGUs, DILG can come up with the better monitoring, not only of the solution but also of the problem. Ilan talaga ang malnourished, ilan yung severe yung malnourishment, ilan yung stunted, and then gaano kadalas yung monitoring para alam natin kung successful yung intervention natin o hindi. Kasi by mere definition ng stupidity, di ba sabi ni Einstein, keep doing the same thing and then expecting a different result. So I don't mind that part of the solution is best practices around the world. Of course, it has to be science, data, evidence-based. But on the other hand, you can't keep applying old solutions to new problems, even if your new problem is also an old problem. So I also don't mind na may konting experimentation or trial and error. But before I give Senator Bam the floor, both of us realized when the departments were reporting or telling us what was happening, we both realized that hindi kasi house-to-house yung survey. So it's a annual survey na probability then.
Random sampling.
Random sampling. They use scientific methods of coming up with the statistics, may probability. Ang problema, that helps you to see kung gaano kalaki yung danger, but to one is to one addressing the child's need, hindi mo magagamit yon. So unlike, for example, if I want to know ilan ang walang trabaho sa Pilipinas, if we want to know yung self-rated poverty, pwede ka mag-random sampling kasi more or less tama, di ba? But let's say if you want to know teenage pregnancy, in terms of just knowing if it's there and gaano ka prevalent, okay. Pero if you want to help them one-on-one, especially at the barangay, school, church, or LGU or municipal city level, it's not enough that you have a random sample because you have to know where they live, what their circumstances and everything. No? So medyo sinamarize ko lang na mahaba pa rin, Senator Bam, but I'll give you the floor.
Yes. Currently, Mr. President, the DOST FNRI does the survey every 5 years. So ang tagal rin po ng duration, no, yung gaano katagal yung mga survey, and it's only regional data. So what we can do, Mr. President, at the right time, we can make an amendment really specifically talking about a yearly survey. We can identify what kind of survey, although honestly, Mr. President, I would leave that to the implementing agencies already. So currently, DOST FNRI does it, but the one responsible is really NNC kasi sila yung nutrition surveillance. But at the right time, Mr. President, at the minimum, I think we have to do it more often. No? Yung every 5 years po ay masyadong matagal. And we can put it in the law such that mandated po talaga na tatrack po natin ng maayos yung prevalence of stunting. No? Thank you po.
And, just to honor Senator JV, Senator Risa, Senator Pia, yourself, Senator Migs, who is here, and Senate President, many times, I think we were in the LEDAC together where Senator JV was talking about when Senator Migs was SP, talking about the barangay health workers. Because maybe we can do even better than a random probability-based survey. But if we compute kasi, if you look at AIX, in 2026, 63 billion. Ngayon, 33 billion, but I think this will be increased. MAIP is 51 billion and TUPAD is 22 billion. So even if you take out MAIP, you have 85 billion pesos on aid to those who need it most. Even TUPAD, it's to workers, but pwede ring yung barangay health workers at saka yung nutrition scholars, pwedeng AIX or TUPAD ang ibibigay mo, and most of them are volunteers. Some cities actually pay them. I think we passed the bill and hoping it won't be vetoed or hoping that mapasa to. But ang point ko, Mr. President, a house-to-house, first of all, diba, some cities, I think both the city of the present Senate President and the city I serve at Taguig City, we have a house-to-house survey 2 to 4 times a year. All households to. I think similar yung nag-assist sa amin sa Valenzuela at saka sa Taguig. But here, we're not even talking about all households. We're talking about pregnant hanggang sa 1,000 days. Then, of course, the schools. One thing we discussed, Mr. President, is if we can mandate the schools, if it's not already mandated, and equip the schools to have height and weight. Ngayon, high-tech na lahat yun. Pero dati, di ba, it's the most simple. Yung timbangan sa doktor na igaganon mo yung bakal dito and you take off your shoes, di ba? And kasi, Mr. President, when we go to the definitions, many of what we're talking about now, by definition at yung unang tingin mo is really weight and height and then age. So it doesn't have to be done in a clinic or doesn't have to be done by health professionals in the barangays, or barangay health workers. It can be done in schools. So for those who are above 5 years old or those in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, pwede na natin gawin mandatory to. I just like to honor now and just put in why my heart is into this. Taguig City and myself and Mayor Lani had the privilege of meeting the president of Singapore. And he's a finance guy. I think he was a previous chairman of finance or secretary of finance. And he was talking about the best investment ever in terms of return of investment. And of course, when he said that, everyone was listening. Is it property? Is it oil and gas? Is it stocks? Is it bonds? Ang sabi niya, the highest return on investment is investing in mothers and then to the child 0 to 1,000. Simple reason, sabi niya, pag stunted na at naging irreversible, you may have the biggest budget for education, you may give them scholarship, pero yung mental development nila have been stunted or may problema na. Di ba? Ganun din sa health. No? Maybe at this point, I can, I just got this out of the internet. Ginugel ko lang na problems of stunting. With your permission, I'll read this. No? Stunting is a major global crisis because it causes irreversible damage to a child's physical growth and brain development, leading to a lifelong health struggles, poor performance, and reduced economic potential. So this was taken from PubMed Central. Stunting means a child has a low height for their age. It is caused by chronic undernutrition and repeated infections, mostly during a baby's first 1,000 days of life, from conception to the age of 2. According to the World Health Organization, the effects of stunting go far beyond short stature. So, growing up, I'm older than you. Halos ka-age ko si Senate President, Senator Bam. Yun nga, yung tuksuhan na bansot or maliit. But yun nga, it's not just the height. And of course, growing up, Filipinos have always shorter than the Europeans, African Americans, etc. No? But may immediate risk to of frequent sickness. Stunted children have a weak immune system. They catch infections like diarrhea and pneumonia more often. Delayed growth, the damage done by age 2 is largely permanent and cannot be easily fixed with later feeding. So the point is, even DOH and PhilHealth, no offense to the present crop and everything, but I've been in Congress since 1998 eh. Wala pa naman nagdi-disagree sa atin na dapat priority to. Pero when push comes to shove, when you look at the hundreds of billions, the money for intervention for stunting is always mixed up with everything else.
It's also stunted.
It's also stunted, yeah.
Okay.
To be fair naman to them, so while I do criticize, to be fair to them, it's also interagency. Diba? And theoretically, DOH, the health department should be devolved. So, but they have the money. And 1/4, 1/3 of all barangays in the Philippines do not have a primary health care center.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, no, you hit the nail on the head. Itong taong pong ito, ang laki ng tinaas ng pondo para sa school-based feeding program. And that was, of course, thanks to the leadership of our Senate President. Nung tinaas po yan, malaki po yung jump. And I remember last year, pinag-uusapan natin with DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian kung kailangan pa nila ng pondo. Isipin nyo po, tayo na po yung nag-o-offer na mas pondohan yung kanilang supplemental feeding program. No? And he was honest enough to say, kahit pondohan nyo po kami, habang hindi malinaw yung accountability, habang hindi malinaw sino yung talagang responsible dito, hindi yan magagamit ng tama. Huwag nyo yun lang munang ibigay sa amin. Gawin na muna natin yung batas. Linawin na muna natin sino accountable bago yung pondo. So this year, Mr. President, with this law, we hope that it will also usher in, as you had said, the accountabilities, the responsibilities, the programs. Wala nang turuan kung sino bang responsable dito. Para sa akin, simple lang. There are only 2 agencies or 2 groups that have the capacity to have the biggest scale. One are the LGUs and the other one is DepEd.
Yes.
Yung DepEd, I think everybody can agree, yung school-based feeding program, kailangan talaga nating pondohan. Yun po yung malaking pondo this year. The law will actually add to the years which are universal. Currently, it's just kinder and grade 1. Hopefully, we will also have grade 2 and grade 3. Although the other day, Senator Raffy Tulfo was saying dapat hanggang grade 6 universal. And the other one are the LGUs because DSWD, DOH, DILG, lahat naman po sila have to work through the LGUs. Wala naman pong talagang kakayahan yung mga ahensyang yan na magpatupad, no? And I don't know if the Senate President will agree with me or not. Everything will eventually go to our LGUs. So sila po talaga yung dapat nating makapacitate, matulungan, mapondohan para mabigyan ng tamang kakayahan to implement these programs through the BHW and through their other LGU divisions or through the local government unit. Yung NNC, yung kanila pong programa napakaliit. It's only in 5 municipalities. It's really more like a pilot program. So hindi ko talaga counted yung implementation na yan. NNC should really focus on the policy side. Should focus on the right mix of menus for the children at yung costing, no? Yun talaga yung focus niyan. Yung implementation po nila is really more like a pilot. DOH, they're devolved already. Kahit ano pang pondong makuha nila, and thank you for bringing up that they have a 30 billion loan coming up. Kahit po mag-loan ng DOH, it's still through the LGUs yung implementation. LGU pa rin yan. And then DSWD, aminado rin naman po sila na hanggang regional po sila. And I'm looking at our friends here, no? Tama naman, 'di ba? And it will still be through the LGUs. And DILG, we say DILG but we actually mean LGU. Iba po 'yon. The DILG will just monitor at may DILG personnel rin po sila. Pero at the end of the day, it's the LGUs, the supplemental feeding program, the child development centers, the support for the BHW and the BNS. Yun po yung magpapatupad nung 0 to 5 at yung 5 and onwards naman is DepEd. So the way I see it, the truly accountable here are the LGUs. Napakaraming Big Brother nakabantay from DSWD to DOH, but it's really the LGUs implementing. We need to give them the money, support them. If they already are spending for it, dagdagan natin. And then DepEd, who has 24 million learners with them right now. Si 24 million po, Mr. President, sa totoo lang, kung i-add mo yung number of students at number of teachers, parang kasing laki ng Australia. No? So ganoon po kalaki ang responsibilidad ng DepEd. So we need to really support those two. While the other agencies, yung pondo, klaruhin na natin na tulong na lang dapat yan dun sa mga talaga nag-i-implement. Those who really have the capacity to reach more students, more youth, yun yung dapat pinopondohan po natin.
I agree with you in concept. And I'm happy to hear yung sinabi mo na linawin na natin dito para klaro. But everyone also agreed with me during the budget hearing last time. We went so far as saying, sino ang anti-stunting SAR? Pero wala rin because unlike, let's say, housing, pag sinabi natin, NHA na lang yan, LGU, so lupa, pera, permits na lang yan, magagawa. So just to give a on-the-ground practical approach on this, no? So first, I doubt DOH will give the money for anti-stunting directly to the LGUs. And even if they do, will it be enough? And assuming it's enough, there are areas where the prevalence is much higher, like Barn. And then let's go to the DSWD's 4Ps. We all agree that 4Ps is an ideal program if masunod lahat ng parameters niya, 'di ba? Yung check-up, tapos may mga nag-volunteer na religious groups to do life coaching and everything, 'di ba? But makikita mo pag sa mall dinistribute yung 4Ps, hindi pagkain yung binibili. Minsan may may loto, may whatever, no, na ano. And I'm not judging. I mean, I'm judging the program, not the person. Mahirap ang buhay, konting entertainment, konting kasama yan. So my point is, Mr. President and Mr. Sponsor, that kung mahihimay natin like what we did in our meeting. So, for example, sa monitoring, no, while we were walking just now, sabi ko, ilan ba talaga ang barangay health workers? So, 277,000, 767,000. If we give them 1,000 pesos, that's less than 300 million pesos. If we give them 2,000, I think kasi karamihan ng BHW, 1,500 hanggang 3,000 lang for the month eh.
Yes.
Kung bigyan natin sila ng 2,000 pesos for a one-day Oplan timbang, and nasa kanila na yung list ng mga 0 to 1,000 days, that's, if you do it 3 times a year, that's only 1.5 billion. So what's 1.5 billion sa AIX mo na 63 billion? Diba? Of course, politicians would rather be the one to distribute the AIX and to choose sinong pagbibigyan. But again, we're talking about our future because we're not only talking about yung wasted and severe malnutrition, stunting. We're talking about nutrition in general. So I'd like to ask if you'd consider some kind of computation like this. Sure. Because if we're sure that they will, why 3 times, Mr. President? Because pag unang na-monitor, kailangan balikan yon kung underweight or under height. Pero ang maganda dito, ang pinakamahirap yung una. And secondly, kaya kailangan ng pangalawa because hindi naman sabay-sabay nanganganak lahat ng nakatira sa isang lugar. So assuming January and then June and then November, masasakop mo lahat ng 0 to or 1 day old to 2,000. So I'm not asking that DOH give their prenatal care, for example, funding to the LGUs because ginagawa na to ng PhilHealth. And for LGUs that have PhilHealth accredited health centers, medyo masosolve ang problema. But again, there are 1/4 or 1/3 of our barangays na wala naman health center. But if it's a private health center na accredited ng PhilHealth at meron na silang package for buntis. But what we discussed, Mr. President, kanina is what about pagka-stunted? And again, thank you for the honest answer. Ang sabi kasi, 'di ba, pag may sakit, may physical manifestation. By definition kasi ang stunted lower yung average height versus its age, 'di ba? So I mentioned during that meeting is that pero yun na nga yung manifestation eh. And the point is if someone is poor and undernourished yung bata and getting sick, may infection, and then ang ginagamot lang yung infections, hindi ginagamot yung pagka-stunted o yung undernutrition, more or less, yung mahirap na pamilya na yan, wala talagang pang-doktor. Walang pang deeper test than the infection that was solved, di ba? Pero kung may kasi ang package ngayon ng PhilHealth is for severe acute malnutrition. So some, hindi all. Di ba? Sabi nga nila sana all. So dapat gumawa din ng package yung
hinihintay ko po si Senate President at tumawa. Hindi po siya
BCC
tumawa.
Yung package kasi ng PhilHealth ngayon, severely acute malnutrition some. So hindi siya all. So
Yes,
ang
some.
problema, yung mga may nililista niya yung joke. Tina-type niya na sa computer niya.
Sinishare po niya sa kanyang significant other.
So mahirap talaga pagka binata ang Senate President mo.
Busy.
No, so Mr. President, anyway, the DOH and PhilHealth representatives will communicate and hopefully by the time nung period of amendment, may pasok natin
Yes.
to. Okay. I promise you a shorter period, Senator Bam, and you look much better now than a while ago, but I'll still try to.
My BP has gone to normal, I think, already, Mr. President.
In the mornings, you already are dealing with the BP.
Another
The VP impeachment. So in the afternoon, you're dealing with your
BP.
BP, blood pressure. Okay. Best practices, no? So So in Indonesia, stunting reduced by 99.2% in 4 years, from 31% to 22%, through community-based nutrition interventions, local feeding, which you're doing with this bill and have been doing, but sanitation and parental education. So we didn't get to that part. I wanted to know from DepEd. You can ask them now or pwede sa future. Gaano kalalim ba yung teaching of nutrition sa elementary at high school? Because I do remember tinuturuan kami ng nutrition noon, yung basic food groups, etc. Because your students of today are the parents of the future.
No, Mr. President. Our representative here is also very, very honest. Umiiling-iling siya.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in the curriculum per se.
Yeah, and maybe we can ask ED Carol then about to look into that, no? Is nutrition, ang ginagawa daw nung ibang countries, pinapasok yung values at nutrition, hindi lang as a subject sa health, minsan pati sa math, sa science, sa
Science, definitely,
everything.
biology.
Yeah.
Mr. President, to be sure, kasama naman siya sa what we call that MAPE, no? Kasama po siya sa MAPE kasi yung last letter doon H, no? E is health. But clearly
Yes.
much needs to be desired on
Because
that, Mr. President.
looking from the Indonesian, if you look at the Singapore example, for example, no, when Singapore was very young, they did have community centers, then livelihood, etc. So it was easier to teach the parents. But nowadays, I don't know where mo tuturuan yung parents except through media or magvo-volunteer sila sa mga seminars. So it's really easier to start in elementary at high school and for us to grow up conscious about health and nutrition so that pag tinuro mo sa anak mo, ganun din yung...
Mr. President, tomorrow we're sponsoring the School Safety Act. And the School Safety Act, we have a provision there where there's a mandated parents orientation
Yes.
on digital literacy, school safety protocols. Maybe we can also
Maybe,
include health
yes,
kasi may
yes.
mental health, may
Yes,
physical health
yes,
na rin.
yes.
At least then, there's a mandated orientation for the parents. First time po yan, Mr. President.
And
Right
both,
now, wala.
both, we can continue to help educate the parents, educate ourselves, then educate the
The
students.
students. Yes,
diba?
Mr. President.
So, goes to the next, no? One of the, I forgot na where I saw it, reading about best practices sa malnutrition, yung sugary foods and sugary drinks. Presently ba, banned yan sa mga canteens sa
Yes.
schools?
Yes, Mr. President.
Oo. So maybe a review of also what's available and kasi 'di ba yung Japan is successful in a balanced diet because from grade 1 not only do they take walks to the school, not only do they take naps, but yung bento nila, then they eat the same thing assuming walang religious restrictions like on pork on many religions, no, but if you look at the pagkagawa ng bento, may gulay, 'di ba?
All food groups,
All
Mr.
food
President.
groups ay nandun, no? Walang discrimination, no? So if sa mga schools may banning na, baka yun din ang tignan ng mga LGUs. Kasi kung banned yan, pero right outside the school, nandun yung, I mean, I love ice cream, so
may
I don't know if I want to
sari-sari store,
include
Mr. President.
ice cream, soft drinks and everything, 'di ba? Na ano. Singapore has the Kid Start. It provides a by the way, no, the average budget from 2018 to 2023, and this is cited by EDCOM, by the way, of these interventions in Indonesia is $2 billion. No, so malayo sa atin. Sa atin, that's equivalent to the 4-piece na siguro. Diba? Kid Start provides a comprehensive support system for low-income household parents and children from birth to 6 years old, including regular home visits, parental guidance on child and development nutrition. So both yourself and ED Carol was telling me a while ago na may parang monitoring form na yung bata. Can you tell me more about that?
That's the UHC, Mr. President, Universal Health Card, similar to the health passport that you had suggested many years ago. And pasok na rin to, Mr. President, sa pangangailangan ng PhilHealth when they get older, connected to the learner number. So it's really, Mr. President, trying to keep tabs on the health of our
I'd
students.
like to thank you for that and support that. And if you can take a look nga na, I don't think it'll be a rider. Yung concept kasi nung health passport, kay Secretary Riodica ko pa nakuha yun, panon ni FBR. Ang sabi kasi niya, dahil ang Pilipino are transient na, di ba, na taga-Samar ka, magka-college ka sa Leyte, tatrabaho ka sa Cebu or sa Manila, mag-aasawa ka sa Manila, you settle down, let's say, in Bulacan. So you go to different health centers throughout your life, no? And some are already in their 40s, hindi alam yung blood type or I remember my mother one time, sinabi kailangan ng biopsy sa lungs. Pero kinabahan siya kasi sabi nung doctor, hindi siya without risk. E buti na lang, yung doctor namin for 20-30 years, Dr. Hamora, may sarili siyang x-ray. Sabi ko, ma'am, just call our doctor. He called and said, Sandy, I have all your records. Tinignan niya, tapos sabi niya, you don't need a biopsy. That's a, what do you call this? That's a pneumonitis or, basta it's a scar from what she had. My point is, may kaya na nga ma'am ko. Hindi pa niya tinago yung record, nakalimutan niya yon. So I wonder about the average Filipino. So but ang difference, walang digital nun. So ngayon meron na, and we have si Yusek David sa DICT, di ba, yung ating
our national ID system. And
our EGOV, no, na I want to agree with you na sana from birth, yung EGOV, yung birth certificate, etc., nandun na. Kasi if you go to the modern hospitals now, no, di ba, pag nag-blood test ka, automatic all your doctors in that hospital will see it. But the average Filipino doesn't have that. I mean, that's another system and could be another law. But the starting of that system is individuals.
Yes, Mr. President. And in fact, if we're able to do this, that's 1/4 of the Filipino people, 24 million kaagad.
And even sa gastos, no?
Yes.
I had the privilege of meeting the apo of Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, Hong. He leads I'm not sure if it's an NGO or foundation in Singapore that does open source. You tell them what the problem is, they'll develop, and then it's yours na. So sabi niya, some programs in Malaysia, in Indonesia, etc., they develop, tapos brinand na. So whether government or private. So if yung ibang nakikinig sa atin or yung iba na, we need another billion for the development of that app or billions, hindi po. Marami ng just like your blockchain
The Cadena Law, Mr. President.
Cadena Law, there's a lot to be understood, there's a lot to be taught, but it's feasible, and we have the Philippine experts and we have the technology there, no? In Peru, ang ginawa nila, they looked at the statistics and found that if they cut the feeding to the older children and focus on the 1,000, which we are doing, and then in Colombia, yung smart clinics, no? In the Philippines, EDCOM cited, not because former SP Mix is here, but they mentioned Manolo Fortrich Bukidnon invested in a local development fund to build food processing facility to support community-based production of foods of young children and national nutritionally at-risk households. You were mentioning, sino yung may centralized kitchen? Valenzuela.
Valenzuela, Mr.
Valenzuela
President.
has a centralized food kitchen. Taguig Integrated Education, Nutrition, Health Monitoring, Physical Activity. I don't know if it was mentioned here. They actually moved everything that can be moved outside the health center. So those who have maintenance medicines, diabetes, high blood, dinideliver na sa bahay. Tapos yung students na kailangan ng check-up sa mata, sa tenga every year, sa school na ginagawa. Then in-improve yung dentist clinic sa sa schools para hindi na pumila yung bata doon.
Thank you.
So there are some best practices. I just haven't figured out in terms of amendment, but if the practice itself, and then of course, Boknotan La Union, links feeding program, community kitchens, and local food productions. No, maybe this can even be the start of better agriculture by highly urbanized cities having rural LGUs as sister cities.
Yes.
And finding some kind of agreements, di ba, on how this food production, processing, etc. could help, no? So, Mr. President, I just want to put this on the record that by definition, di ba, undernutrition. So, nutrition is the intake of food considered in relation to body's dietary needs in connection with the bill, no? Malnutrition refers to deficiencies, excesses, or imbalance in a person's intake of energy or nutrients. The term malnutrition covers two broad groups of conditions: undernutrition and then overweight. So sa undernutrition, stunting, low height for age; wasting, low weight for height; underweight, low weight for age; micronutrient deficiencies or insufficiencies, a lack of important vitamins, minerals. So I was starting to mention this when we moved here. So kung halimbawa, no, kung severely acute malnutrition, may package na yung PhilHealth. I wasn't able to ask kung yung complete diagnostic nandun. Kasi kung yung cost niya nung undernutrition is all feeding, then the feeding programs will cover this. But if it's micronutrition deficiencies or other
Other types.
other what you call this diseases that I'm not familiar with, not being a doctor, but meaning kung may mga cause and effect sa nutrition yung ibang sakit, or alimbawa, di ba, kung lactose intolerant yan, anong ipapalit mo sa of course, Senator Pia said sinama mo sa bill yung stunting. My point is, yung ordinary stunting is not covered by PhilHealth. And how many kaya nung ordinary stunting ang undernutrition per se, at ilan kaya ang micronutrient deficiencies? And to my understanding, there are other tests like blood tests. But of course, E.D. Carroll was saying when it's folic acid and
Iron.
it's easier to just give everyone. That was the same sa sa bill ni Senator Pia on the Hepa B vaccine. It's just cheaper than to do the screening,
Yes.
to give everyone within the first 24 hours. No? So, ang dami pa natin i-discuss, but basically, I'll be studying, working with your office, with the agencies. Ang request ko lang, Mr. President, and I think the author and I agreed on this, that when we cannot be specific, let's be general. My words, I'm not saying you agreed on this already, but in my words, anything that we cannot specify na eto gawin 1, 2, 3, 4, or DOH, ibigay mo yung pera dito, etc. We'll talk about it in general. But anything that we can specify to make sure that the success of this bill, for example, Mr. President, Senator Bam made it very clear that this is a bill for all Filipinos, regardless if you're in a city or a highly urbanized city, in urban setting or rural, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're in a smaller or bigger school. But he also agreed with me that in areas where, let's say the top 5 or top 6 areas where stunting is 30% and above, there has to be equal sa lahat, but here you give them a little bit more attention, which include more interventions, because the problem is bigger, di ba?
Yeah.
Walang kaibahan sa flood control yon. Gusto mong may flood control ang lahat, pero kung saan ang mas masama ang baha, dun mo bibigyan ng mas intervention, not necessarily infrastructure flood control. It could be basura, it could be dredging, it could be mali ang mga tinayuan, dapat hindi nagtayo ng dahil creek yon, no? So same, di ba? It could be that in war-torn areas, it's parental education and not necessarily just feeding, di ba? Or it could be in highly industrialized areas, infections also caused by pollution and poor sanitary conditions. So although this is a technically a food masustansyang pagkain program, as we started, it's essentially a nutrition program. So it will not be a rider for as long as it addresses
Nutrition.
on point, no, not sobrang indirectly, but directly and very correlated, even if indirectly, but if it will have a direct correlation in solving problems with nutrition, we can put it in the bill.
Yes,
or specify. It's already many are already in the bill, but more polishing it to specify, right?
Oh, definitely, Mr. President. In fact, a number of our colleagues have already indicated that they will provide amendments, try to improve the bill further. I know, Mr. President, that you had an anti-stunting measure also. We can try to integrate portions of that into the bill if they aren't yet addressed. And we're hoping, Mr. President, that as we move into the period of amendments, all of these great ideas can come out. And if there needs to be some changes as well, we're also very open to that.
Yes. Maybe that's yung ipapakiusap ko sa lahat ng department, but lalo na sa DOH, no? Sa bill nung anti-stunting, we put a ASAP, anti-stunting action plan.
Yes.
Just so that it's very clear na sa anti-stunting to, then more of the best practices. I say this in connection with, nabanggit nyo kanina yung loan. So former Senator and now Executive Secretary Ralph Recto on April 2025 signed an agreement for 476,000 euros, 34 billion for DOH. And this is basically
We can legislate it.
strengthening climate resilient provincial health systems, strengthening health emergency prevention, preparedness and response systems, building enabling environment, project management, monitoring, etc., no? Having said that, Secretary Herbosa told us that since patapos na yung 2022 to 2026, it's a 10 billion loan for anti-stunting, baka ang solusyon sa funding will be the new loan. But eto, magbabudget na naman, nasa NEDA ICC pa daw yung approval. Nung sinabi ngang ICC, sabi ko baka magtago yon, pero NEDA ICC pala yon, hindi pala ICC, no? So, ang problema, mag-e-end na yung 2026 and we're all saying stunting is the priority, pero its funding is not a priority. So, but it might be a blessing in disguise because I'm hoping that by the time the loan is approved, meron ng action plan. Again, I'm not saying the action plan will work. I'm saying we keep doing the same thing, then keep meeting, and then ang solusyon natin parate is who is accountable, which agency, and more money. But more money is not always the solution. It helps, but it's not always the solution. And dito sa stunting, hindi siya so far naging solution, especially when the money is lumped up with different loans and different programs that are not focused just on, I mean, katulad nung siyempre yung sa pagkabuntis, prenatal at saka anti-stunting, intimately related naman talaga yon. So, klaro naman yon. So, okay naman sa akin na yung ganon, di ba? But pag sinabi mo, primary healthcare, most naman of our programs and most na pangangailangan nasa primary healthcare naman talaga. So, it has to, so I'm not saying it won't be under Roman numeral number 1. I'm saying, baka naman pwedeng sa Roman numeral number 1, may letter A ka na priority na nakalagay doon anti-stunting. Or if you want to put also doon sa severe acute malnutrition. The reason I don't mention that is because covered na ng PhilHealth, and secondly, iba kasi yung irreversible. So after 2 years old, pagka stunted na yung growth, pwedeng hindi na to ma-reverse later on. compared to undernutrition or severe malnutrition at certain parts of our life, di ba? Kaya ka pang gamutin.
Mr. President, no, many things to unpack. But unang-una po, so I've been told here that there is a nutrition plan, there is an anti-stunting plan, but it might be a good idea to mandate it in the law, in the bill, that there should be a nutrition plan, an anti-stunting plan that's also updated para klaro po yung mandato. Supposedly, local governments also have a nutrition plan, but I don't think that's mandated either. Maybe that can be part of the amendments. And then, alam ko, Mr. President, you've been looking for an anti-stunting czar. That's also something I think we can indicate in the bill, no? Finally, I would guess it's DOH, no? That DOH...
Initially, Mr. Senator, dear friend, but alam mo, at this point, I don't mind if it's a USEC, ASEC, or an executive director, as long as
Meron.
yung passion yan.
Yes.
Hindi, ang problem, it's just like yung sinabi ko kanina dun sa nung DFA, di ba? I think more than any other secretary, I made it a point to meet OFW's OFW Association. But yung time mo, hati talaga pag secretary ka eh. So the reality is from managing government hospitals, making sure na walang outbreak, di ba? All this controversial about cigarettes, vape, etc. The reality is that the secretary, kahit sabihin mo siya yung anti-stunting, di ba? Unless you have a secretary like Flavier, na let's do it niya yung anti-stunting, tapos siya mismo pumupunta, ine-explain niya talaga.
I thought, Mr. President, you would say siya mismo may pagka-stunted din ako.
Actually,
Definitely not mentally, just maybe physically.
Actually, when you smiled, naisip ko rin yun. But I think he was one of the best public
DOH secretaries
servants
that we've had.
of
Yes.
DOH secretaries, but also public servants. Kasi even yung Yossi Kadiri, di ba, parang for 30 years, yung Marlboro Country and all the advertising before it was banned to make cigarettes cool. Then they targeted the women, so they said it's cool for women. But you had this guy who wasn't extremely rich. He wasn't Pulitzer. He wasn't a Nobel Prize winner on whatever, diba, on mathematics or health. But he just loved his job. He was creative. He got it done.
Yes.
So I really don't mind. Remember also si Dancing Yusek, sa DOH, di ba?
Yes. What's his name? Si Tayag.
Tayag, di ba? So
Yes.
he was or bosses ni Nilo Rosas na walang pasok today, di ba? So I don't really mind the rank. I mean, E.D. Carroll is theoretically an executive director, but we all treat him like a 25th senator, at least in EDCOM, di ba? No, I mean, it's not the position eh. It's the passion. And on that matter, Attorney Erap when he was still with us, di ba? So on that matter, Mr. President, I just feel na baka yung local anti-stunting czar mo pwedeng appointed by the mayor. The mayor can appoint him or herself or
Or a
can
counselor.
appoint a counselor. But sa national, someone na obsessed na wala siyang pag-uusapan kung hindi nutrition at anti-stunting.
Yes, Mr. President.
Thank you for being open to that idea. Yes. I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will do that. And there were probably other things, Mr. President, that you had mentioned, but we'll take a look at the record and try to address it also.
And just to honor a former colleague and your aunt, si Tessie
Yes.
Aquino Oreta, di ba? I think one of her reasons for just loving the idea of early childhood development is precisely that. The reverse is that kung underdeveloped or may problema sa development, wala nang rewind eh. Hindi mo na mabago eh. So she really devoted much of her time and effort on ECCD. So I think it'd be but fitting that you continue this in this bill.
Yes, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Mr.
Maraming
President.
salamat. That was extremely helpful, and we will definitely be working with your office on these amendments and waiting at the right time to accept these amendments, Mr. President.
Thank you. And I really appreciate our minority leader for very consistent and passionate about stunting. Even nung panahon ng budget deliberations, ang ating minority leader, Senator Cayetano, consistent niya ipinaglalaban yung pagre-resolve ng problema natin sa stunting. And just to give some detail, some chime into the discussion, ang stunting ang pinakamataas na malnutrition type natin at 25% of our children age 5 and below. Ang underweight, which is mababa yung weight sa edad, is 16% and wasting 5%. No? So talagang stunting ang pinakamalaking problema natin pagdating sa malnutrition. And I join our minority leader in the fight against stunting. Hopefully this budget season pwede natin paglaban tayo lahat, sabay-sabay ho tayo na mabigyan ng malaking pondo yung paglaban natin sa stunting.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President.
Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.